Good morning or good evening to wherever this finds you. Welcome to the Fun Hog Pod with your hosts, Matt Cook and Butch Mayhew. Let's let that fun ensue.
Butch, let's jump right on in. Tell me what your fun hog moment is from the last week.
My fun hug moment actually happened last night. In lieu of
This is a PG podcast now. Is this an appropriate last night event?
It's very appropriate.
Okay,
It's very
great,
appropriate.
great. Safe for the whole
I'm
family.
glad you had that check. So last night, sorry, you got me. All right, last night, in lieu of family meetings, because that didn't happen. We'll talk about family meetings at some point, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it now. In lieu of that, I brought my girls downstairs to the basement. I sit in the basement. If you're not on the video, you're just on voice. I sit in the basement, and we've got this TV over here. I've got some like lights that change colors, and we had this like disco USB light that I picked up for like $5 on Amazon. And we plugged all that stuff in and turned on some YouTube. We brought our girls like boombox down that has a microphone. We did karaoke for 30 minutes straight. It was a ton of fun. It was fun watching the girls like express who they are through singing or mumbling and dancing. I participated as well. It was a bunch of kid songs we sang, but we did it like really lo-fi. It was just like, let's find a YouTube that has lyrics and hit play and, work through the ads because we don't pay the fee, the ad fee every month. So we wait through that, and then we had a lot of fun. Lots of smiles. I did record a little bit of it, but I'm not going to share it. I recorded it for us, for the girls to see later. But ton of fun. They loved it. I'm sure we're going to do it again. It was a hit.
Love that, man. That's awesome. That is a family meeting. I mean, maybe you didn't do all the the extras there, but yeah, that's what family meeting's all about.
It was family fun. Well, so here's the thing. I don't think my boys, one who's 16 and 13, would have appreciated, karaoke night, singing like, Disney songs. So,
Yeah. Okay, so the whole family wasn't there, so that precludes it.
that's
That is a true requirement. But lots of family fun. Love that. What was the top song that the girls sang? I don't care what you were singing.
I think you don't care what I sing. Well, I will tell you, I sang "Peaches" from the Mario movie. If you've not seen the Mario movie, Jack Black sang the song about peaches, and it's fantastic. It's fun it's really fun to karaoke too. So I got into it. I think my favorite, there were kind of like two moments that really stuck out. One was when we found an LOL Surprise Doll remix song. So, our girls, we go to the library, and at the library they have CDs they can check out. So they go find some music in their kids section. They'll check it out. They basically like memorized all the words to these songs. So they weren't even looking at the screen and like singing all the words and getting into it. So watching them sing that was a ton of fun. And in the end, we actually turned on, there's this YouTube scientist called Mr. DeMayo. If you've got any kids that are elementary to middle school age and you're looking for some supplemental science for their, go YouTube Mr. DeMayo. He has a lot of funny videos and funny songs, but you learn stuff along the way. And there was a song. It was kind of like a song short about vampires and garlic bread, and how that's how you basically bend off vampires. It was great. The girls, they loved it. They were just like really into it. And I think that's what made it a lot of fun. Is like, if I were just sitting here by myself watching this, I'd be like, I would actually probably laugh at this.
I was going to say, that seems like something you would enjoy.
Yeah, but like sharing that moment with those two, just enjoying, laughing, smiling, having a good time, it was fantastic. It was definitely the fun hug moment of the week. How
Love
about
it.
you, Matt?
Yeah, we'll drop a Mr. DeMeo reference in the. I'm curious to check it out myself. I'm not familiar.
Oh,
I don't
buddy.
consume much YouTube actually.
All right,
Uh,
I'll tell you the one thing you should check out. This is what introduced me to Mr. DeMeo.
Butch's
You need
top
to go watch the
recommendation or top Mr. DeMeo recommendation.
I don't know if it's the best, but it's definitely it's like the entryway into Mr.
Yeah.
DeMeo. It is the Jupiter educational video. I think it's called Jupiter Facts.
Okay.
It's worth a watch. It's about a 10 minute, and there is a short song in the middle, and the song's really catchy. It's gonna get stuck in your head.
Okay.
So,
I will commit to watching it with all the boys. So my boys are
Yeah,
7,
yeah. Watch
11.
it with the boys. I think they will enjoy it.
Okay. What about 13? Is it too cheesy for 13?
Yeah, 13. No, it's good. I mean, he may be like, yeah, I don't know about this, but like, if you're getting into it, I think he'll get into it.
Got it. Well, that is a perfect segue to my fun hog moment because we had a birthday this week.
Woohoo!
Which, man, birthdays are so much fun. So my fun hog moment's been sitting here right in front of me. Look at that. That's some cookie cake right there.
Buddy.
That's what that is.
Oh,
So
buddy.
we celebrate birthdays. Man, I think as my kids get older, we typically let them pick their own restaurant and, they get to pick whatever, some meals, what kind of cake they like. And as they've gotten older, their tastes have migrated closer to their fathers, which I really appreciate.
Wonderful.
So cookie cake, always near and dear to my heart. I'll be eating it, here shortly because it's not going to sit
Very
in front
nice.
of
I
me for
see
much
you
longer.
got like there's some like a lot of icing on the edge.
Yeah, it was
right?
red and yellow, so it was Eli's birthday. He's a big Chiefs fan, and
Nice.
he gets a lot of flack from his friends because it's
Yes, he
like, what are you
also a
doing as a
Taylor
Chiefs
Swift
fan?
fan.
I'm gonna clear the air. Just go ahead and say, so his Chiefs fandom dates back to Sammy Watkins is a relatively lesser known NFL guy. He was a standout at Clemson, and he played for the Chiefs. I took Eli to his first NFL game. This was maybe 5-6 years ago. It was before the Chiefs were like really humming, and we went to the Titans over in Nashville, and I let him decide. I knew it was going to be a big experience his first game, so I told him I would get him a jersey before the game, and he picked a Sammy
buddy.
Watkins jersey. So we wore the away team jersey in the Titans stadium. So
Dedication.
yeah, I mean he's been a Chiefs fan. I think they were already a good team, but if I recall correctly, that was an incredible regular season game. The Titans came back and won it late. It was like one of their biggest wins of the season. I think that's what happened. It was a really. I think they were down like 14 points with like 2 minutes left or something, and they came back and
Wow.
won it and blocked a field goal or something. But so he's been a Chiefs fan, so it's red and yellow for Chiefs. Man, it's
Love it.
I love cookie cake. Yeah, one of my wife's friends actually made the cake, and so she got a little
buddy.
cake business. So maybe I'll post a link to her business. I think she might be not wanting as much business, but this cookie cake, more people need to be eating it. So I'm going to send
All right.
business her way regardless.
All right. So if you're in the Tennessee area, typically, what is that? West Tennessee. Check out the show notes. It'll be there. You have some contact numbers.
Deep West Tennessee. Tennessee's a very big state. So
That's fair. And
gotta-
if you're not in Deep West Tennessee and you're looking for cake, I'll tell you, Costco makes a mean cake. I didn't know they even made cake.
any
but
particular
you can't
flavor,
order it
like just
online.
chocolate cake, any cake, or what?
It is. I know they have chocolate and I know they have vanilla, but it comes in a giant size. What you'd expect from Costco. And a friend had a birthday party at the same time where I went and like played ultimate frisbee. We went to like a birthday party after that, and they had Costco cake, and it was chocolate. It was fantastic, and it was like $30 for like a huge cake. So the value's there. The big thing is you have to drive up there and order it a couple days ahead of time, and then drive up there and pick it up. So
There's no
it's not
calling?
I don't think you can call it. I think you got to go up and go talk to the people. So
Come on,
Old school.
Costco. It's 2024. Like, let's
It's a secret though. It's probably a thing. You keep it cheap. Don't overwhelm them. Enough people are getting hot dogs and stuff. You can call in a pizza at my Costco. So there's that.
I'm a huge Costco fan. The value's always there. And they carry such a good line of quality, right? Like it's like pretty good. Like, I mean, if you need the best of the best, you're going to need to go somewhere else. Like I recently got a drone, and it's like, man, there's tons and tons of drones out there. Like I don't like really want to nerd out and get super into it and explore all the options. Like I just want a nice, good quality drone that'll fly and, is reasonably easy to use. Costco, perfect. Just
there's like 2 or 3 options, right? It's like the best, or like medium, or maybe a cheaper one.
Love it. Well done, Costco.
So what have you been droning? What have you been like doing drone stuff for?
Just for fun. I'm an official, if you're going to fly drones, you got to get your FAA license. Yes, I'm a licensed drone pilot. I mean, there's like 2 levels. There's like the $5 one. That's what I got. I'm a hobbyist, so I can't do it commercially. So I can't, I can't post any drone footage on this wildly commercial endeavor that we're under. But yeah, just for fun. It's just good times.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, so like, what's the best drone footage you've captured so far?
We did. So going back to family meeting, we did a family meeting where everybody learned a little bit about flying the drone, and everybody had an obstacle. So we did the family was doing the YMCA poses on the like sidewalk, and the drone was way up overhead. That was my favorite one.
Awesome. Very nice.
Yeah, I hadn't captured anything epic yet, though. I still feel like that's on the horizon. So we'll see.
It sounds great. I mean, I've always like wanted a drone, but it's one of those things. It's like justifying it and like making the time to go use it once you like have a drone. Like, I mean, it takes time to go get it set up and make sure the wind conditions are good. You're not going to lose it anywhere. Come up with a plan of what you want to do. So it's good stuff. Well, let's jump into the word. I see you eating that cookie cake.
Yeah.
I see you.
I got
word
like
of the week.
one more big bite, and then I'll be done. Go for it.
All right. Well, word of the week is brought to you by The Wheel, which we're going to post right now.
And the word is 2000, Butch. Man, I was really excited when I saw the word 2000. I have no clue where this conversation is going to go. I mean, I have a little bit of a clue because I have a couple of topics I'm going to bring up. But what a fun topic. What was the first thing that came to mind for you?
So, this is the first topic. The first thing was like a question that I want to ask you. But I'll ask the question, and then I'll answer it for me first, and then we'll go to you. How's that?
Great.
So when I think about the year 2000, I think about where was I? It's kind of one of those moments, like when the year rolled on to the year 2000, where was I? And I was at the Extreme Conference in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Nice. It's like a Winter Jam Extreme. I was up there with a bunch of people like Louis Giglio. He was probably there. I think this was before Relient K because their album came out later that year, but it was probably somebody like Audio Adrenaline who was there, playing sets. I'm not sure who else was there, but it was like a lot of the famous Christian folks. But I was up there with a youth group. There was the whole countdown to like midnight. It was just a ton of fun, and I remember thinking like, is everything gonna break tonight?
There was so much energy just worldwide for like Y2K, and it's interesting.
Y2K. We know what Y2K is. What is Y2K?
Yeah, Y2K was this theory. So computers stored time mostly with kind of a 2-digit format for the year, and so most of the computer systems kind of became mainstream in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and so a lot of these legacy systems, as they went from 1999, so the 2-digit format 99, as it rolled back, to 00, just were computers equipped to handle that. And so the idea was that there would be a lot of bugs that were related to this time transition. Maybe your driver's license might say you like in the DMV system. I think that was one of the big ones, was like you were going to be like negative years old or something like that. It seems like the DMV would be the most likely to break, but man, if the DMV navigated around that, like there's hope for whatever your technology system is. I mean, it's interesting. You and I have both gotten into technology. We've seen some crazy bugs, but how did that like not become a thing? I mean, just with so much software out there, I don't remember hardly anything breaking. I mean, we weren't quite into the scene at that point. We were both.
I mean, I was like in high school, you know? Yeah. So I just remember there being like the news would come on and be like, you know, beware, Y2K bugs, they're coming. Like that was like all that was playing on the news for like 2 or 3 months before this. So, you know, when it came around, I was like, yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen. Hopefully we're good. You know, I've got the people I'm with. Like, hopefully we're good. You know, away from home.
Yeah, there were fears of like the grid going down and like would everything break with kind of these like super low level infrastructure type systems. Would planes fall out of the sky? I remember that being one of the things.
Banks still work?
Banks.
You know, all those things.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah. Well, yeah.
It was wild times. And then, you know, 2000 rang in, and yeah, I just remember like walking back to the hotel at like 12:30, like, well, I guess everything's good.
Yeah, I don't remember any problems from it. So I was down in Brunswick, Georgia, and my aunt lives down there, and so we were at her house, and that was. I wouldn't quite characterize her as a prepper, but she's not deeply tied to the grid is maybe how I would say. You know, she's very self-sufficient individual. That's a good, yeah. You know, she had a boat. That was kind of my memory. So she lived right on this river, and we would go catch fish and then cook the fish, things like that. You know, for a city boy like me, these are kind of very self-sufficient experiences. But yeah, I remember staying up till midnight and just bringing in the new year. But it kind of felt like a fairly typical New Year's Eve type night, and really no major issue. So
nice. Have any of your kids stayed up to ring in the new year?
You know, this last year, I can't remember if they actually made it. I think they did make it. We let them camp out in the backyard on New Year's Eve.
Nice.
And so Abigail and I went to bed at like 9:15 or something. And we're like, great. And it ended up being a really cold night, like 20 degrees. And so we warned them, you know, and we sent them out there with 16 blankets or something like that. And they were in the tent, but the two younger boys came inside, I think around 2:00, and then Eli ended up sleeping outside by himself. I can't remember if he came in later, but
still, but they made it past midnight.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, it was a good time. All right, so Y2K, you know, that was kind of the most obvious. You know, hey, clearly that's got to be discussed. So we've scratched that off our list. Good times. Can you we'll go with very quickly here. Obviously, you have the capability to calculate this, but how many years do you think 2,000 weeks is?
Oh, geez. Off the top of my head, it's going to be 40 years.
Very good. Yeah, so it's 38.46.
I mean, I had those numbers floating around. Yeah, I was doing that thing. It was great.
Yeah. So have you been alive for 2,000 weeks, Butch?
I have.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of surprised to think like, man, have I lived for 2,000 weeks? And you know, just barely. I mean, I turned 39 in February, so I'm a little bit past that. So 2,000 weeks, though, really, you got to make every week count. You know.
I mean, yes, that's kind of wild to think about. I mean, question for you: have you ever counted to 2,000?
I don't think so. Yeah, maybe
I don't want to.
Maybe by tens.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was younger, if somebody would have challenged me to do that, I would have done it. I enjoy completing tasks. You know what I mean? So I think if somebody would have dared me or challenged me or give me like $5 to do it, 100% I would have done it. But also had like a ton of time. I feel like time is way more precious nowadays as a 2,000 plus week old man, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you probably, so we both have lived for 2,000 weeks, and we probably have not that much more than 2,000 weeks left. You know, I mean, of like prime living. I mean, sure, whatever, we could live into our 90s, I guess, but
It's wild to think about. Maybe I should start. Hey, how old are you? I'm gonna start giving my age in weeks.
Just to see what happens. I like
See
that.
what kind of reactions I can get. I'll have to do some quick maths, but we can figure it out.
Yeah. 2000. I mean, yeah. So that kind of got me thinking about what. So I was just kind of thinking about the past and like how many weeks is 2000, and then I was thinking into the future. This is a fun one. What are the percentage chances that there will be 2,000 episodes of the Fun Hog podcast?
With me and you leading this?
Yeah, got to be pretty low. Got to be pretty low.
Yeah.
Was my general
Yeah,
thought.
0.0.
We're pacing at one a week
0.
right now, though. So, what are the chances in 38.46 years of the fun? I think beyond me and you, yeah. So we'll say, let's say this is just a roaring success, and maybe it transitions to somebody else. So, like, are the chances, just talk me through your thought process.
It's still really low. It's still really low.
Like
Just
we're talking like
by that time, 40 years from now, people are gonna be like, "What is a podcast?"
You think
you're gonna be like, "Yeah."
Bold predictions: podcasts are on the way out. Butch Mayhew.
Yeah, 40 years from now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I mean, obviously it's really low. It's got to be under 1%, minuscule percentage. But then I was thinking, so we watched the Kentucky Derby this weekend. This was the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. I didn't know that until I turned it on. We really like the Kentucky Derby in my house. It's it only takes 2 minutes to watch, and so you really need to know what time it starts, because if you miss it, you miss it. But this was an incredible race. So there were 3 horses. I mean, it was a photo finish. It was like we are so accustomed to review now in college football and NBA and kind of all the big mainstream sports, but in horse racing, when was the last time you said like, hey, we really need to like go look at the camera again? Like, there's almost always just one horse who obviously wins. Occasionally there's like an interesting disqualification or something like that. But I mean, this year it was a true photo finish, and they even showed like there was this guy who was responsible for taking the picture, and you could really see him like kind of really stressing out about it and like figuring it all out. But yeah, so it was the 150th running, and surely when they did it 150 years ago, they weren't thinking, I bet that 150 years from now, people are going to have lasers and podcasts and be talking about the Kentucky Derby, right? So,
but people are, yeah. So Kentucky Derby lives, 2,000 weeks into the future. Do you think it will continue to live? But I guess that would be like, I don't know. A podcast is like once a week. Kentucky Derby is once a year, right? It's once a year,
right?
So I feel like.
Will there be a 2,000th running of the Kentucky Derby? That would be pretty crazy. Yeah, it's hard to imagine that. I mean, just looking at human history, right? Like very few countries have. I mean, a couple have been around.
We still have the Olympics. That was kind of like
great counterpoint. But the Olympics are like what, 150 years old or something?
It's like
they have like some Greek roots. I know that, but I mean,
right.
Yeah. I feel like the Olympics is bigger too. You got multiple countries like Kentucky Derby. I mean, Churchill Downs, very specific location, but it's hard to imagine it going away too, right? Like it's a huge revenue generator.
So have you been to a Kentucky Derby?
I've never been. It's on my bucket list.
Goals? Is family goals?
Yeah, it's definitely on the bucket list. I mean, there's a whole lot. The actual day has a lot of gambling and formal dress up. That's not exactly our jam, but I could get on board with doing it one day. Primarily Abigail. She really loves the Kentucky Derby, so
nice.
I could get I would more see us doing a little parents getaway, but maybe I could. It just
make it a parents giveaway. That's great.
Yeah, I feel like the boys maybe as they get older they'd get more into it, but yeah, not right now. We did so one other birthday thing, kind of tying into my Fun Hog moment. So we let the boys pick where they want to eat, and Eli's 13, so he chose Osaka, which is Japanese steakhouse. So they've got one of those teppanyaki grills. Yeah,
flip stuff up like throw shrimp at you.
Yeah, and so probing question here. If you could be a falconeer, tying back to our birds episode, or a hibachi chef, which would you choose and why?
Oh man, that's a good one. Oh man, I would still probably choose a falconeer, right? My
It's
life
close, though.
circumstances would have to be different, right? I mean, I would have to live in a different place, probably not a neighborhood. I would have to be like, have some land, have things worked out to live that lifestyle. I do feel like there would be a lot of fun. I think I could bring a ton of fun as a chef. I mean, could I be as coordinated like right off the bat? Probably not, but that's probably a learned skill.
It's a learnable skill, yeah, for sure.
What about you?
I think I would choose hibachi chef. And, I've been
Oh,
pondering
you have
this.
the hat already.
Yeah,
Your last name's Cook.
I've lost that hat. I need to go find that chef hat. But yeah, hibachi chef, super cool. Like ultimate party skill. I think that's it. It's a little bit more. You get to kind of flash that skill every once in a while. You're over at your buddy's house, and you're like, "Oh, these are some cool knives," and you're like, "Oh yeah, you're into knives," and you're like, "Yeah, a little bit." I dabble, and then you just that would be very satisfying. I feel like falconer's super cool, but I mean, there's probably only once or twice a year you're able to surprise people with, "Oh, look at that falcon." You're like, "You want me to call him here?" And caw, caw. Which it would be a more impressive skill to, bring up at a party, but.
So you're thinking of it in the lens of impressing other people or just bringing the fun to more people, right?
I think yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different lenses, but I mean, hibachi chef, like every single time, I love seeing the flaming volcano onion.
I mean, it's coming
every
but
time.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah. And are we going with which fried rice joke are we going with? I mean, there's just.
Yeah. When's the egg going in the hat? We're ready for it.
Right. Yeah, they were a little maybe understaffed last night, so they were in a little bit of a hurry. We didn't get the full ensemble of jokes, but it also depends on your chef.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, when I think about the year 2000, I think about the Conan O'Brien skit. You know about this?
I don't know. This isn't ringing any bells.
Oh man. So this was in the late 90s, like 97, 98, when he came out with a skit that was in the year 2000. And he dims the lights, he puts on these huge giant green balls and shines a flashlight in his face and gives a bunch of predictions about the year 2000. And I remember watching that as a child. I didn't really keep up with the late night scene or anything, right? I mean, as a child, but TV would be on. I saw that, and I was like, "Wow, this was really funny." Somewhat inappropriate on some of the things, but it's really funny, and that's always stuck with me. So anytime I think about 2000, I think about that line. I mean, it sounds like this: "It's in the year 2000." It's very nice. It's very calming, and we'll include it in the show notes. So go check that out, and enjoy a little nostalgia from Mr. Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I mean, surely I've seen it before, but I'm not recalling it. So looking forward to that. I remember, I think it was the Prince song, "We're Gonna Party Like It's 1999." You familiar with that one?
It sounds like I've heard it before, but I mean, I wasn't really big on the radio. That sounds like something would come on a radio show maybe my mom would listen to.
I think it was 70s song. Let's see.
Oh, the 70s. So
Or
this is way old.
Well, it's 1999 was way in the future, so we're gonna party like it's way into the future. 1982. So it was originally released in 1982. So, but yeah, I remember that being played nonstop and right before kind of Y2K. We're gonna party like it's 1999 because it had become 1999.
There it is.
That's the joke.
We lived it up.
That was good.
So
All right, I got.
what song do we need to write that people start playing in next year, right? So what? It's 24 today. Maybe we can shoot for like 2030. I bet that could be a catchy song.
What about the 2000 Weeks song? You know,
2000 weeks old.
yeah, we could do. You know, there's like
Welcome to
that. It's like a catchy song from a love, like 525,600 minutes. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that song. We could do that, but
So it's the
2000
Michael
Weeks.
Scott tribute.
Yeah. Yes. That's great. All right, I got one more 2000 thing before we move on. Top 5 box office movies from the year 2000. We're doing this based off of gross sales.
Oh, this is trivia.
Yeah, there's a little trivia. Top 5. This was a very surprising list to me. I think 3 of them are guessable, I'll say. I mean, obviously, I don't really have extensive knowledge of your understanding of movies,
Sure.
but 3 of them kind of felt, okay, like, yeah, that makes sense to me. The number one just blew my mind, which it really did. And there's some other funny things in here. So take it away. Do you have any
All
sense
right,
of?
I'm gonna throw out a couple movies that I think were around 2000. Again, as I mentioned on previous shows, my mind is a little fuzzy when it comes to the details. So we're just gonna get in the time frame. I believe in 2000, that was around when The Matrix was released, or The Matrix 2. That feels like it was around that time frame.
Ooh, March 31st, 1999 was The Matrix. So this is actual calendar year 2000. So we're going January 1, 2000 to December
So
31.
Matrix 2, did that come out in the next year? Or was a 2-year gap? It's not in the top 10. I can see it on your
2003.
list.
Yeah, 2003. So yeah,
All right.
but great. I mean, you anchored it on both sides there. So that was a great first guess.
So, Matrix, that would be the first. Lord of the Rings came out around this time, the first Fellowship of the Rings. I can't remember if that's 2000 or not, but it's near there.
2001, December 19th, 2001.
man.
Yeah, see,
All over the
you're all
place.
over it. I mean, you're all over
right.
it.
2000. Man, that feels like when maybe the Santa Claus movie came out with Tim Allen. That was when he was popular, right? Maybe.
I think that was earlier. Yeah, 1994. So we're
All right.
we're moving off of
I'm
it.
a little more off. All right, I'm going to give 2 more guesses to at least try to hit one of these. I feel like Scream was before 2000.
Yeah,
Coming to 2000.
1996.
Yes, I mean that I knew that was like before.
All right, let me give you a hint here before your final guess.
Oh, I got one. I got
All
it.
right.
Star Wars Episode 1.
Star Wars Episode 1. No,
Man. All right, give me a hint.
that was
Take a hint
2003,
from last.
right? Nope, 1999.
It's all blurry.
Yeah. All right, Scary Movie. So that was like a Scream reference, you know. So that
Yep.
was there. That's number 7. So I'll just give you that one straight up. All right, the number one release is $251 million of gross sales, released on November 17th. I think that's the best clue in the bunch is the release date.
So it's got to be a Christmas movie, probably. Or Christmas movie, 2000. It can't be Elf. Elf was past that, right?
Yeah,
Elf was like 2008 or something.
Elf was way after that. Yeah. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
This is the Jim Carrey version.
Yeah. Number one, $251 million. I just couldn't believe that. Like, I mean, wow, that was the highest gross. I mean, man, they just killed it. I don't remember that movie.
I remember watching it once. That was it. I think I watched it because of Jim Carrey because I thought he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Grinch has come back. Like, there's like crazy videos of people like being mean to their children, pretending to be the Grinch. Have you seen
Oh,
this?
yeah, I have seen some of those. Those are
It's
weird.
wild,
We'll
man.
link to one just for your own comedic relief. But those are pretty.
it's-
Yeah, like kids are traumatized.
I don't approve.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
We'll link to it as an example of bad parenting. There you go.
yeah. Don't do that if you're listening. Don't do that. Don't even think about it. If you've done it already, apologize to your kids. Make it right.
All right, so
Buy them some ice cream.
So some of the ones that were kind of surprising to me here. So Mission Impossible 2, that was number 2. That one made sense. Gladiator number 3. I just couldn't believe that Gladiator didn't outperform How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That shocked me a little bit. The Perfect Storm.
I remember that movie.
Yeah. And then we get into some fairly unusual ones. Meet the Parents. That was the other one that, I thought maybe had a chance at guessing. But I was surprised at some of the stuff further down. Some outstanding movies. At number 14 is Remember the Titans.
That's a great movie.
Number 15 is The Patriot. Both of those got beat out by Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps. And I was just, man,
those are some good 2000 movies.
Yeah. There were some good ones down the list. So 2000, decent year for movies, but I'm disappointed. I've seen Remember the Titans 22 times. I'm going to estimate. Outstanding
I've probably
movie.
seen it 8 times, but it was over 10 years ago. I need to show that to my kids.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Man, I love so many quotable lines from Remember the Titans. Great movie. All right, you got any more 2000 stuff before we wrap up this chapter?
Man, that's all I got. I mean, I like 2000. I think the number 2000 is very memorable in that we get to experience the turn of a century when we could remember it. But I got nothing else. But who knows? Maybe 2,000 episodes from now, or what is that? 1,996.
This is episode 4. I think they'll still be talking about episode 4 in 20.
We'll try to remember
62.
to reference that. Reference we had a 0% chance to make it. So.
I said less than 1%. I don't really believe in 0% chance.
Matt's a statistician. Doesn't believe in 1%, or doesn't believe in 0%. I'm sorry.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
That's right. I mean, I think what I learned in economics, I think they told me 96.5% chance is I guess that's kind of probable. It can never be 100 or whatever.
So somewhere there's an economics teacher that's why don't you go watch some more YouTubes and see if you can get that stat right, because that's not it.
What was it? What is it?
I think what the concept you're loosely referring to is p-value and statistical significance.
Yeah, p-value, what is that, 95%? I'm just going to keep throwing out numbers until we get this.
Yeah, depends on sample sizes. There's a lot more to unpack. I don't think we're going to turn this into a statistically significant podcast.
I did pass my economics or statistics class, whatever it was. I think it was economics, and we talked about statistics,
Okay, yeah. So these are pretty different disciplines. Are you sure you were in the right room? Is this a high school course, college course?
I mean, it's college. I'm pretty sure it was economics, but we talked about statistics.
Yeah, they're related, but also different. It's like hot dogs and hamburgers, But to most people, you wouldn't say it was a great hot dog. You're like, no, that was a hamburger, right? They're related but different.
I'll take it. Sorry. Oh man. All right. So do we want to do the word of the week?
Let's do the word of the week.
All right, word of the week. 1 second. All right. We're going to see if we can get this thing going here. Check this out. Everybody can see the beautiful spinner. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to spin it.
Before you spin here. All right, so we're doing the word of the week here. So this is going to determine what word we're talking about on next week's episode. Butch, are there any words on there that you would really like it to end on bacon? Of course you would love to end on bacon. Are there any words you're even the slightest hint nervous about?
I'm not nervous about any of these. And I do realize I need to fill in this one over here. Man, this glare is wild.
Let's pick a word. If we get the blank, I think we should have to pick it here. Well, you really whittled down our word list after I added a substantial
Well, I
number.
mean, what we're gonna do is I will fill in words as we speak through words, and they'll eventually all make it to the list.
I think there's more words than there are podcast episodes. I feel fairly confident in that.
I mean, it's all right. It's all right. We'll be all right.
So are we placing a word in the open spot right now? What about
I don't know.
if we get that, then we do something crazy? What could
That
we
sounds
do?
good.
What could we do crazy if we end up on that?
Ice cream party. I'm on ice cream. You've been talking about this cookie cake. I need some ice cream now.
Ice cream party.
I have no idea.
I don't either. All right, scratch that idea.
All right. If we land on it, we'll just respin. Or we'll have a mystery word at some point, but not today.
Got it.
All right,
We'll
you ready?
respin. Go for it.
All right, we're going to spin this wheel. Here we go. I'm going to try to spin it and not damage my hand. Here we go.
Ooh, great spin. Ticket.
Ticket. All right, ticket's the word.
Ticket.
So bring your ticket stories. I'm
Ooh.
excited about this.
I've already got a few directions that this could go in, and
All right.
this would be great.
Give me that ticket to ride on the train. No, we can't start this yet.
Yeah, don't try to
We'll wait till
prime
next
me
week.
with your ticket ideas, because I got my own ticket ideas that are unrelated.
All right. Well, I am thoroughly looking forward to it. It was a good chat, and let's close this thing out. Thanks for spending some time with us. I'm Butch.
I'm Matt.
Go forth and hog
Some
fun.
fun. Dude, we're on Spotify too.
Yeah, I set that up too.
What?
I mean, it was like 2 clicks of a button, man.
Nice. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's happening.